This podcast is a part of the Royal We Network.
Spit on me.
Hey, he went away now.
Yeah.
He was like, them boys about the podcast? I got things to say. You probably couldn't even hear that.
Maybe.
Maybe you could. Maybe you couldn't. But what we just heard was Rock and Roll McDonald's by Wesley Willis.
Yeah.
Wesley Willis. And you were just telling me a story, and I was like, okay, shut up. Shut your mouth. Let me turn the microphone on.
Yeah. I was saying we saw him in concert before he died.
Before you explain this, can I give kind of my impression of what this man is?
Yeah.
He's a black man,
Yes.
mentally handicapped,
Yes.
who sings songs loosely defined by the word song.
Yeah, just whatever comes to his mind. I'm not sure what other. I know.
How much did you pay for the ticket? You went to go see him.
It was just at like a local. It wasn't. $5 maybe.
Okay.
I don't even remember. It was.
Sure.
I was like 19. But the.
To give you guys an impression, the song is Rock and Roll McDonald's, Rock and Roll McDonald's, Rock and Roll McDonald's, more or less.
Yeah. McDonald's is a place where they have hamburgers to buy to eat. Yeah, and it's just like a keyboard going do diggy 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 do, just like a big keyboard, and he can change that. But anyway, the man has hundreds of songs that are just that, and he'll just the next song comes up and it's basically the same beat. And
Are they all about just different stores?
different things? He has a song about Batman. He has a song, just whatever. And what I remember hearing is like he used to just perform on the street in like New York, and someone heard him and was like, "This is funny stuff. We could probably make a buck off this guy, I guess." And yeah,
Capitalism.
right. That's basically what it was. And he put out some albums and like toured with like a handler. And when we saw him, he had this lady. It was like his handler, and he got up on stage and started playing. And apparently he was supposed to go for maybe, I don't know the time limit, 45 minutes or something, because there were other bands that were going to play. And he went on for almost 3 hours, and they couldn't get him off the stage. And they were afraid to they couldn't remove him because he would go crazy. He's a paranoid schizophrenic on top of other things, I guess. But they were like, at one point, I guess the manager of the place was like, just get up there and see if you can get him off. And this like great big bouncer, this big muscle dude, gets up and kind of like stands behind him, but you can see he's just kind of like,
oh no,
looking left and right with his eyes. They're like darting around.
His heart wasn't in it.
Yeah, he's like, I don't really want to remove this guy. Because like you said, it was like
I remove people for a living, and my heart's not in this.
Yeah, because he would get up there and he's like, boom. And the guy probably weighed 400 pounds.
Oh, he's a big boy.
Big boy. And he was like, do, digga, do. And he would play, and at the end of his song, he'd go, Kinko's, express yourself. And then he'd go, this is my last song. And then he'd be like, do, digga, do. And he'd be like, Batman. And he would sing a song. And at the end of that, he'd be like, Kinko's, express yourself. This is my last song. And it just kept going. And it was like a Family Guy gig after. This is before Family Guy. But it was like that kind of where, it goes to the point where you're like, all right, it's kind of obnoxious. But then it keeps going and it gets funny again.
Right.
So it was like everybody in the audience was like, this is funny. Then we're like, all right, we're done with this. And then it was like, holy shit, he's still going. And the lady's like, don't touch him. Like, you can't, he has to be done when he's done, or he'll freak the fuck out. And you don't want a 400-pound schizophrenic going nuts in a club. You know what I mean? Like,
you brought this up on yourself by giving money to him.
Yeah, Batman, hamburgers. What did you expect? And he did this thing. He had a big, his forehead, he had this really big forehead that was, permanently discolored from where he headbutted stuff. And he would go around, and the thing was, we went up to, meet him afterwards, and, every single person, he'd grab you by the back of the head and go, say rock. And you go, rock. Say roll. Roll. Headbutts. And then he'd headbutt the shit out of you. And he did that to a fucking 100 people in that bar. And he just headbutted.
How much of a headbutt? Like a real good headbutt?
It was a good thump. It wasn't,
geez.
it wasn't enough to knock you out, but you felt it. It wasn't he wasn't fucking around.
Let's get into the show. Let's get into the show. So this is the one where we listened to that before we recorded. We're twisting and dialing the knobs, trying to dial into exactly where the goofs will lie.
Yeah, seeing if listening to certain things before it elicits a certain mood.
I feel like maybe one day we'll just listen to all of them. Right now our playlist is Linkin Park, Tina Turner, Rock and Roll McDonald's.
Yeah.
Wesley Willis.
Yep.
Welcome to another episode of The Royal We. Remember, that's what you clicked.
Yeah.
People looking at their iPods like, what is this? What? I'm Sam.
I'm Nate.
What we normally do is we take headlines and we read them.
Yep.
But we don't read the articles because facts just get in the way. Mm-hmm. If you guys want to send us headlines, and you should, you guys can send them at Royal WeCast on Twitter, or royalwecast@gmail.com. Gmail. Let's get into it. We spent a lot of time bantering.
Yeah.
I say I kind of have this separated into two because like this is new curated grease, right?
Uh-huh.
And there's a big void in the middle where sex goo is empty, bullshit what is empty, not news/fast food is empty.
I like that one, yeah.
So there's like two realms.
Okay.
Where we could do 2 episodes here because there's really 3 realms, but anyway.
Okay.
Do you want to do the law and products?
Sure, let's bust into it.
Medicine and spook grease in science.
It is Friday the 13th today.
Ooh.
We're recording this on Friday the 13th.
Okay. So let's do spook grease.
Let's do spook grease.
And then we'll see where it takes us. Because I mean, who fucking knows?
Yeah.
It's been a rough day for. It's been a rough couple weeks for goof grease. I haven't really been able to find any. So send us some, guys.
Yeah. We've had some of these.
Someone sent us something. Let's open it up with that. This was by Fez at Fez919 on the twits.
The twits.
And the twits and the tweets. This is an example, I would say, of a bummer, but basically, a depressed man sued McDonald's for $1.5 million because after he ate his Happy Meal, he was still depressed.
I mean, come on. Is that going to hold up in court?
I don't think the Happy Meal, just because, for example.
So he's saying it's false advertisement because it's called a Happy Meal and it didn't make him happy?
But that meal is happy. Eating something doesn't confer its qualities to you.
Right. There's a big smiley face on the thing. That's just saying that box is happy. This is a Happy Meal.
It's like new, fresh lemon flavor. I don't feel new and fresh.
Yeah.
I'm not cucumber.
Right.
That doesn't confer to, that doesn't apply that to any other food. I'm not pumpkin pie now.
Right?
I ate the happy. I'm not happy.
Yeah. I have the feeling he's suing him, but I don't think that's going to hold up. Because any judge is going to be like, all right, man, listen, you were clinically depressed before you ate hamburgers. Don't eat hamburgers. It's not going to help. Filling up on hamburgers isn't going to help you feel better.
But Happy Meal.
But it's happy. It's supposed to make me happy.
This is one of those things that someone's looking to find reasons to.
Just slipping on the floor and falling down.
I was watching. I went on a big deep dive.
Turns out there is such a thing as pumpernickel bread.
Have we told that story on the podcast? I don't think we have.
I think so. A long time ago.
It was your brother, right?
Yeah.
What's really funny about you and your brother is my brother Ben and I are very, very similar. Mm-hmm. He's a little more serious, but we're pretty much the same.
Yeah.
You and your brother are similar in some ways, but I would say in humor, the opposite.
Yeah, we're pretty opposite. My brother can be a pretty serious dude. He can...
And misses the point, I'm just fucking around. He's like, what? I don't get it.
Yeah. He's like, that's not funny.
Yeah, right.
And I'm like, yeah, it's kind of funny. And he's like, no, it's not. That's stupid, and it's pissing me off.
So he got this wrong number. Someone called him. This is in the line of people trying to sue people for stupid reasons.
Right. He gets this on just a random call, which he thought this was funny. He got this on his voicemail. He's like, listen to this. And some guy calls and he's like, how'd it go? He's like, hey man, I'm not going to be able to have that money for you this week. It turns out I ain't going to be able to have it because it turns out there is such a thing as pumpernickel bread. I thought he wasn't lying. When I went to see my lawyer, it turned out there is such a thing as pumpernickel bread. I thought he was calling me a purple N-word. And that's why I was trying to sue the waiter, because I thought he called me a purple N-word. So, if there's such a thing as pumpernickel bread, looks like that ain't going to happen, but I'll try to have it for you in a few weeks. I'm going to go up to the Walmart and fall down. And was like, holy shit. So this guy owed a dude money, and this is his excuses. He was going to try and sue a restaurant because a waiter asked if he wanted pumpernickel bread, and he thought he called him a purple N-word.
Can you imagine the what? Because the waiter was like, hey man, you want some pumpernickel bread? And he's like, what?
What'd you say to me? You want to meet these hands? You better meet these hands.
I can imagine a world where you went your whole life not knowing about pumpernickel bread.
Yeah,
right. Pumpernickel bread is something that can miss a man.
Pumpernickel bread can miss a man. Yeah. It can. Whew. There's whole again. Yeah.
So that man thought he had something. I mean, can you sue someone for just saying something shitty to you? I guess
if it's an attack or a racial slur or something like that,
a hate crime.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So if someone walked up to someone and said what he thought he said.
Yeah. So then I guess what's funny is I love when he says, if I remember correctly, in the missed call, he says, "I tried some. It's good."
He did. Yeah, he did. He said, turns out there is such a thing as pumpernickel bread. I tried some. It's good. He went out and was like, I want to make sure.
You think he went back and was like, yeah, I will have some.
Yeah. Listen, man, I'm sorry about that scene I caused a week or so ago. Where the fuck was this dude?
You walk back in and you're
like, oh no.
Oh, it's this guy.
Oh, it's pumpernickel bread, man. And he's like, listen, man, my bad. I didn't believe you. I thought you were being a racist asshole, but turns out it's pretty tasty bread.
I tried some. It's good. Can I have some? I imagine that's where he tried it. You're right.
You're like, let me get some.
That's good.
I Googled it.
Anyway, thanks, Fez. That was from him. So let's go into our goof grease.
Okay.
Let's start with the spook grease because it's Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Canadian City has been plagued by a mysterious noise for 8 years, and nobody knows what's causing it. There's just a noise in this city.
I left a good noise in the city. Moved down from Canada. Couldn't sleep all night. Should have stopped while I was ahead. Well, there's reports of like noises only certain people can hear these like frequencies. At different places, and it's like isn't it like the Earth frequencies coming out of the Earth, like sound resonating through the planet or something? And certain places on the planet, these frequencies resonate.
No, I don't know.
It's a totally natural thing, but people for years were like,
I feel like if you
it sounds super creepy. It's one of those things that you could read into and be like, oh, what is it?
No, 100%. In fact, if you had just said that in like this voice, it's like one of these frequencies.
It's a frequency.
Right. And then, like
different place on Earth, and nobody knows what's causing it. And people hear it, and it just drives them crazy. And no one even believed them, and they had to move away.
Well, I've heard that like old places, to get real spooky. Let me pull it all in. Old buildings. The boilers are fucked up, and they release a lot of carbon monoxide.
Oh, that'll happen, yeah.
And
or unshielded wiring.
Oh, yeah.
Of electromagnetic fields.
And they basically just make you feel. I actually got carbon monoxide poisoning one time. I was in a basement, and we were moving out. And when they moved out, they're like, "Oh, this isn't the batteries," and they put batteries in. And it went beep.
Oh shit!
And I was living in that basement, and I remember like I would be driving, and I thought like the cars were like jerking towards me and stuff, and I was just having like really low, because it was a pretty new boiler, but I don't know what was up with it. It was like really low level, carbon monoxide. And it causes like classic horror movie symptoms,
right?
Feelings of dread, darting shadows, hallucinations, auditory, visual hallucinations, but like low. So it's like, am I crazy?
Yeah, it's not enough to where you're like, I need help. It's just kind of like, what the fuck is going... Like, where you could think, like, this place is haunted.
Yes. And, like, haunted houses are more likely to have boilers that would make that.
Yeah.
That would make it happen.
Yeah, that, or, like, said, like, unshielded wiring and different... It makes, like, this EM field, electromagnetic, that fuck with your head.
Yeah.
If you're seeing them for a while, it does the same thing.
My physics teacher told me this really funny story about...
My physicist.
My physicist. My personal physicist. I go see him twice a week.
Yeah.
He's like, the stars! Sam, let me tell you about the stars.
Why does that sound like Doc from Back to the Future?
Because that's what I see.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was doing.
This made a big noise. Okay.
My physicist, he told me a story. He's pretty no nonsense, as most physicists I imagine are.
Yeah.
And his family is pretty much nonsense.
Although that theory, that was all bullshit. I'm just fucking with you guys. We spent a year in peer review. You fucking asshole.
The chuckle fuck physicist. Well, he was saying how his family was really sure there was a ghost at their house. And he's like, okay, I'll come look.
Hashtag dark matters. I'm sorry. I'm trying to let you get through your story.
And what was happening is their grandma had recently died. And when they would go into the basement, they would hear like a quick. And they thought it was her rocking chair. She used to always sit in this rocking chair. And they thought it was her rocking chair was rocking. And when they turned the light on, she would like come and like visit with them. And he was like, unlikely. So he like went down there and he was like inspecting it. And he's like, yeah, sure enough, you turn the light on, you hear that noise. And then but he's like looking at the rocking chair, and the rocking chair is not moving. He's like, So then he just, long story short, he inspected the place. What he found was, and like, those little basement windows, those like up towards the ceiling of the basement?
Yeah.
There's a little window that looks in. Well, there was a little like ditch or hole around that window, and a frog got down there. And when the light turned on, he thought it was space he could move into. So when the light turned on, he would jump into the window repeatedly.
Oh, shit.
So he was like, no ghost.
Frog.
Yeah. I'm out.
Yeah. Physicist out.
Poof. But he told us that story in like such an old man way too, because he was a classic. He looked like Great Scott. What the fuck's his name? Marty?
Yeah.
Not Marty.
Doc.
Doc.
Yeah.
A man's just Doc.
It's just Doc.
He had bald on top, white crazy hair coming out the sides, and just like would wear like sweaters with collars underneath. He's just like, today we're gonna do a formula.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's a mysterious noise in Canada.
Yeah.
Well, I love that there's a noise, and enough people recognize it that they're writing a news article about it, but they can't. Where's it coming from?
Well, that was the same thing we've had stories about that with smells, where whole towns were like, "What's that smell?"
Oh my god!
You know, and then finally the whole town has to get
Let
together.
the good smell in the city. I'm gonna run your stupid joke into the ground.
Because one was like, what was it? They had. What was the thing? They couldn't figure out what the smell was in the whole town. It turned out that guy had like thousands of...
Oh, yeah, tortoises? 10,000 tortoises?
He had 10,000 turtles. It was stinking up a whole town.
Wasn't the headline like the unbelievable stench or something?
Yeah.
Stench.
Stunk up a whole town, and they're like, what is that?
I imagine this noise is probably something where it's really intermittent. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like, boop, and they're like... Because like if it does it short enough, you can never really get a good track on it. Like,
Yeah.
where's that fucking coming from?
Sometimes there's those really weird frequency sounds. Have you ever heard, like, you ever been sitting in a room and you hear a sound, it sounds like it's coming from one place, but if you go to that place, it sounds like it's coming from somewhere else in the room?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it's like that in the town. Who knows?
We don't.
And we never will. Never. Unless we click on that one. That's interesting to see if they figured out what it is.
Naked Trump statue goes for $28,000 to an auction, at an auction, to a paranormal investigator.
What?
I'm going to say something. There are a lot of people whose job, their only job, is paranormal investigator. How do they have enough money to buy fucking naked Trump statues?
I don't know.
How are they making money?
How are they getting funding?
Who's paying for them to go and investigate the paranormal?
I don't know. If either they're self-wealthy, what's that called?
Self-wealthy.
Self-wealthy. Or if they, I mean, is someone giving them money? Are they being funded?
I think, imagine like, oh, my grandma's just rocking her chair, and you don't have a physicist on call. There must be a man you can call, like, come here with your EMT meters. Or whatever.
EM meter.
Yeah.
The ghost box from Amazon.
Yeah.
There's a green or red light that goes off.
See.
See.
Verde. Listen back. I don't know which one that was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there has to be a person you can call.
Sure.
Right? Like, you got a problem. There's a raccoon in my chimney. There's a man you can call. I think my house has got grandmas in it.
Yeah.
Who do you call? Who are you going to call?
Grandma Buster. Hi, I'm Grandma Buster. Chomping a cigar. Let's get these fucking ghosts out of here.
But he bought a naked Trump statue.
For paranormal, you think he
bought it.
Think it'll crack open like in Ghostbusters? And
what I think is the most interesting part about this story is that the paranormal investigator has $28,000 he can just fucking throw around.
Right. Either this is somebody who's already has enough money and they're doing this as a hobby. But like, what am I going to do? I'm
that
bored.
Would be fun if you're super rich, you're trying to prove it. That would be fun, actually.
Yeah. Just be like, I got a bunch of money. Let's go around and see if I can,
We
I'll
used
buy
to
all
go
the
to
tools.
school.
We'll go around and see what we can find.
I'll buy all the EM meters.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the the recorders that
we'll get a team of people who are just really on edge.
Yeah. Did you hear that? Did you what? We used to go to school with a guy who was dumber than most dogs, and he turned around one day, apropos nothing. No one was talking to him.
Right? No, we were sitting outside during break at that table.
Oh, I thought it was during math class. I thought he turned around. Anyway, we were just talking. You and I were talking.
It was the same way. He just turned at us and he just turned. Nobody'd said anything. We were just sitting there enjoying the air. Nobody'd said anything for a good 5 minutes. And out of the way, he just looks up and goes, "Hey, do you know any good haunted places around here? I'm running out." And I was like, "What?
I'm running out.
You're running out? What have you been up to? What have you been doing, man? You've run out of haunted places in Florida?"
Yeah. Let's do this one more in Spook Grease. Okiku, the creepy doll that allegedly grows human hair. Yeah, it's pretty creepy.
Well, allegedly.
Yeah, any creepy doll is just a bunch of... You know what's really funny? When you're a kid and someone tells you a spooky story, you're like, oh, fuck. But now when you're an adult, you just have to choose not to... Like, you just...
Like, well, if it's like, okay...
prove it.
Yeah, exactly. That seems like something easy to prove.
That's a creepy thing you said.
But I think that's the case where someone goes, "See this doll that I'm holding? This creepy doll? See its hair? It grows that. It grows its human hair." And you go, "No way, fuck, let me see that." And they're like, No. Then they put it
right.
in like a case, and no one can look at it. And they're like, "But that's what happens." And they're like, "Well, let us look at it. So let us investigate it." No, it's too creepy.
I had this funny epiphany. I was listening to This American Life this week. 2 acts. Goof, grease. I'm hourglass. I was like,
The whole time you were doing that, I don't even know what you said because my brain was just going. And I said, "What about epiphanies at Tiffany's?" And I said,
what's up with you today?
I've gotten good sleep for the past week. My brain's firing well.
You haven't got good sleep like the whole time I've known you.
Yeah, I'm getting good sleep, man. I feel good.
I was listening to these boys. They were like camp, and they're telling each other horror stories. Right? They're like the whole thing. You know, turn the light off. You say red drum, whatever, and then you see, whatever,
Candyman or something.
Right? And then they were like, "Oh, I saw him," and I was thinking the kids that are pretending that they did see him are scaring the kids that didn't see him because they're thinking that it's possible to see him. But they didn't see him, so they're choosing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's just a bunch of people, but no one saw him.
Right.
So it's some kids who are playing or fucking around with the kids who didn't see him, and the kids who are not. But I think a lot of the world is like that.
Yeah, because those kids grow up and they pull the same shit on adult levels.
Adult idiots.
Yeah, and they get on a fucking TV show.
The Earth is flat.
Yeah, or they get up and they're like, "No, I seen it. I seen Bigfoot, and I seen him. I saw the fucking Flatwoods monster or whatever." And it's like this whole thing, and they're like, "Did you?" Yeah, and you get a.
He says he saw it.
I believe him.
He has no reason to lie to me.
He makes great hamburgers.
No, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like if you read a story about this, a creepy doll allegedly grows human hair. Mm-hmm. There's a good amount of this is kind of.
Allegedly's in the title.
100%. But this is the reason we have a podcast.
No,
it's because someone reads that and goes, "There's a doll in their head."
Yeah,
they store it away. There's a doll that grows human hair.
Yeah, and then they go tell someone else, "There's a doll somewhere. Hey, I read this thing about a doll that grows human hair."
What else do you know about it?
Allegedly.
No, nothing.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
It's Japanese. I want to say.
Yeah.
It's Okiku.
Okiku.
I should go. I'm taking these Chinese classes, and a bunch of my classmates are Japanese. I should ask them about this as if it's a thing they should know about.
Yeah.
I read about this Japanese doll that grows human hair. You guys know anything about that?
Don't even say that. Just be like, "So what's the deal with Okiku?" You're like, "What? You know, the doll, like it." All right, buddy. Get on it. But make it like it's a big thing. You know, like in the West. Being like, everybody knows about Okiku. Like, there's a kid's show. You imagine like a little anime.
This reminds me of the story.
Okiku. And like its hair grows out and like does things. Like
I imagine
puts
it's
eggs.
It reminds me of a story you told me about this statue that started dripping water and people started drinking it. And it turned out that it was just dripping from a toilet somewhere.
Yeah, they thought it was like holy. Because it was like a statue of
Mary or something.
Mary or something. So
I want to say Jeebus.
I want to say Jeebus. But it was like started dripping water off of like its hand or something. And everybody's like, we can't figure out where it comes from. So instead of doing anything, before they could test, all these people immediately thought, "Oh, it's a sign, it's a miracle." And they started, okay, let's jump to that conclusion. So they jumped in, they start collecting the water, and like baptizing babies in it, and like drinking it and stuff. And it turns out it was from a leaky toilet in a building, and it was like leaking down the outside of the wall and like
a pipe and then like
and onto like an awning or something. Just like the track of it led it somehow to where it touched this statue and led down and happened to drip off of it. But someone's come like, all right, this is causing, because there were like crowds around this to collect this dripping water. Someone's like, all right, let's figure it the fuck out. And they traced it back up and was like, there's a fucking leak in the, I mean, it wasn't like sewage, but it was like the water that goes into your toilets and you know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
yeah.
You guys have been drinking toilet water.
In the name of the Lord.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Let's open up. Let's do products and services. We don't do this very often. And let's close the drawer. Let's open that and get out of here.
All right.
I don't know what this means, but the world is cryptocurrency crazy. This is the world's first blockchain toothbrush. I don't know what a blockchain is, but it has something to do with cryptocurrency. That lets you mine coins by brushing your teeth.
Someone's going to brush the teeth right out of their head because of that.
It's a toothbrush that's got computing power.
So as you brush, it mines for Bitcoin. I don't understand any of that.
No, I don't understand why people brush their teeth. I don't personally believe in it. I only floss.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that? Dennis, like, what have you been doing?
I just wash my mouth out with whiskey.
Your teeth are impeccable.
Whiskey teeth.
But Why? There's got to be better. There's got to be a better way. Buy a computer.
Well, this is someone trying to figure out more ways to do it at once. You know what I mean? So they've got all this shit going, and they're like, well, I'm doing all this. I can be fucking brushing my teeth.
That's not what it is. You know what it is? It's exactly like the dude tattooing hamsters. It's someone who's like, people are super into this. I'm going to slap this on this and then sell it to them.
And make a quick buck.
Yeah.
Quick grift.
We saw this thing about this guy I was talking about. He lived in Louisiana. And when bands would come to play, people would tattoo hamsters.
Yep.
They wouldn't tattoo. They'd brand them.
Was it branding?
That's what he was saying. Because he said the people thought it was tattooing, but they would actually be branding
Holy
them.
shit.
He'd brand these hamsters with like Green Day and then sell them to fucking people high on E.
Which is great.
God damn it, idiots selling shit to idiots.
Yeah.
So this is people like, well, this is a big thing.
Yeah.
That's like, I remember when Overwatch first came out, someone's like, you guys could just turn your podcast into an Overwatch podcast, you get real popular, and switch back to Goof Grease. It's like, what? That's going to piss off the people who were listening before, and then that's going to piss off the people who liked us because of Overwatch, and then return back to Goof. What? That's not going to make anyone happy.
No. I played Overwatch for a minute.
He's not good on this map, man. Game came out today.
Yeah. It's like, well, I don't know that. I've been playing this for 4 hours. The game just came out. Let me play with different dudes on different maps so I can find out what I like. But he's not good on this one. You need to eat shit. I'm going home. Fuck you.
I'm going home. I'm in my home.
I'm in my home, but I'm just living more in it.
So there's that. Here's one. Company sells alcoholic ice cream that can actually get you drunk.
Okay.
Because I've had like alcoholic milkshakes and stuff.
Yeah, but none of that seems like a good idea to me. I've never
A little
really
bit of sugar and
I've never really been into alcoholic. I saw alcohol. They used to have alcoholic water, which I thought was like, come on, you really got to get it in you. It was just water. It was tasteless. It was alcoholic water.
hydrates.
Yeah, hydrates while it dehydrates. We used to drink vodka and Gatorade and say that. Hydrates while it dehydrates.
I'm with you. I feel like alcohol, even like those like really fluttery drinks and stuff, like all those like, you know, like Sex on the Beach and things like that.
Yeah.
Those are okay if you have one of them. But if you're trying to like, if you're that actually gets you drunk, if that's your goal, if your
don't
drink.
If your goal is to get drunk, it's like drink. You don't want to get drunk off fucking White Russians.
No, oh my god, no.
Oh my god, I had a bad experience with that.
Yes, your stomach will go sour real quick.
Yeah, I drank like 9 of them.
That's basically like you drank a whole glass of cream.
Yeah, just drank a whole bunch of cream with vodka on it. Like your body's like, no. After a minute, like one or two it can handle, but after a little bit, you've got a bunch of milk and a bunch of vodka in your belly, and your body goes, these ain't ever mixing. We got to get rid of this.
These ain't mixing.
These ain't mixing.
Here's one. This Japanese gadget tells you how bad you stink.
P.U. P.U.
Is this for people who are anosmic? Anosmic? What's it where you can't smell?
You can't
anosmic?
smell. Yeah, I guess.
Because we all have a device that tells us if we stink.
Yeah, but I think if you stink really bad, there's a
you don't know.
Yeah, you don't know.
Oh, it's like you can't feel your clothes, or you can't smell your lungs.
Fucking hell, you can't smell your.
Think
lungs.
about it. The air is going into your lungs and then back out your nose.
True.
Can you smell your lungs?
No, I can't smell my lungs. They're on the inside of my body.
But the air is going into your lungs, and then they must absorb some smell.
What's that people try to smell their own breath by going, if you can smell your own breath by breathing out into your hand and sniffing, you need to brush your teeth with whiskey because.
Not just floss them.
I mean, onions and shit like that. You can I can tell if I've eaten like tons of garlic. I could smell my own breath.
I mostly just taste it, and I'm like, there must be smell.
It's got to be bad. But like. Yeah, but I think it's a thing. Like if you
can't see your nose, but it's right there in your vision. Your brain just blocks it out.
Yeah. What was the question?
It wasn't a question. Your Honor.
What? I'm sorry, I wasn't listening.
I just imagine all of the life that I've led with you is just a dream, and it snaps to where you're just like on the stand somewhere, and you're like, whoa.
Oh. What?
What now? This is a Japanese gadget.
That's right.
Which, I mean, I guess you're right. You don't know how bad you stink.
Yeah. Because there's a point, I mean, because you can smell, if you go out and you do something and you get real hot and sweaty and you come back, you can kind of smell it. You'll be like, I need a shower.
Oh, yeah, you smell sorry.
But I guess if you let that go and go and go, after a while your body becomes
used to it.
Your nose becomes used to it.
But you don't have a buddy. I guess in Japanese they're very isolated from each other.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't like, hey man, can
like
you give me a sniff?
if you get that thing for Christmas, you're like, all right. Just tell me. That's the fucking secret Santa. P.U.
Because, you know, if I smelled, what situation do you need this? When are you worried? Because if you think you might stink, whether you are sure or not, you would take a shower.
Yeah, and if you're in a position to where you think you might stink and you can't take a shower, what's the point in knowing it? What? That came out wrong.
I know what you mean.
If you know what I mean?
Because you're not going to be able to fix it. Like, oh, I
Yeah.
stink, and now I just know that I do.
Yeah, because normally, like, if you think you stink, you just take a shower. You're like, I might stink. I don't want to go out stinking to dinner. Let's take a shower. But if you're already out and you're sitting in your car and you're like, man, do I stink? Then you have this thing go, P.U. And then you're like, oh, shit, I stink, but I have no way to take a shower. I don't know, maybe you could pop into a 7-Eleven and give yourself a hooker bath or something.
Yeah, with them wipes. Wipe it all down. Yeah, this is a weird device.
It's a good and weird invention.
It's a weird for a lot of reasons, because you could just ask someone to smell you.
You think it's shaped like a little nose, and you wave it around, and it goes, P.U. Or it goes, all goodaroo.
How does it know?
It knows, Sam. It just knows.
How does it know? But like, our technology can smell. We have devices that are able to smell.
Yeah, it's just picking up. All smells are just chemicals. It just picks up It's just picking up the particles, the chemicals coming off of you. It's like my dad always said: a fart, just like taking a turd, put it in your hand, and going. Blowing.
I'm not sure that's true.
No, you're right. My dad never said that.
Let's play one of these and get out of here.
Okay.
You want to do? There's the first blockchain toothbrush, but I imagine that's just a bunch of fucking stupid shit.
Yeah.
Then we got Canadian City with Noise, Naked Trump statue, Okiku. We actually didn't do a lot this time.
We babbled about stuff for a bit. Yeah, we didn't do too many.
Want to do the noise?
Let's do the noise.
Let's do the noise. I feel like we need a new. I know I say this a lot.
The donkey scream.
I feel like the donkey scream because it's our podcast, and when I listen back to it, I go, God, why do they do that? And it's us.
What's funny is it started as a joke, and I just kept doing it. I just kept putting the donkey noise.
What should we put?
I don't know. And it's just got to where it's easy. I just drag it in there.
No,
and I'm like,
100%.
donkey noise.
Maybe it should just be something like.
We'll test out new ones. We'll test out a new one.
Here it is. Ready? Let's play the card.
That's just a bunch of thumps.
I'm doing some Foley work. That's a spider walking. Listen, imagine a spider. That is a crab. Sounds more like a crab.
That's a crab.
A pinch.
A pinch.
I will pinch you. Oh, shit.
Crabs are wily, man. We tried to catch one time. Unsuccessfully.
Canadian City has been played. Let me just hedge you off at the past. Canadian City has been plagued by mysterious noise for over 8 years, and nobody knows what's causing it. Residents of Windsor, a Canadian city near Detroit, have been complaining about a mysterious noise interfering with their daily. It's interfering with their daily lives.
It's probably just Detroit. Let's close the case. Detroit.
They can't figure out what it is. Over 210,000 people reportedly have heard it, and it varies in intensity and comes and goes at random intervals. Sometimes it can be heard for just a few hours. It's a long thing.
Wow. Sometimes it lingers for days.
It suffer from symptoms like severe headaches, sleeplessness, irritability, depression. How could they not track this down? What does it sound like? You never hear of people that have gone out to a secluded place to get away from certain sounds and noises. I wanted to do that many times the past year because it's gotten so bad. But what does it sound like? What kind of sound is it?
Imagine having to flee all you know and love just to have a chance to hear nothing humming in your head for hours.
They say it's like the sound of a subwoofer. They say it's like you know, in the background of a Star Trek episode, like when they're on the bridge.
Yeah. See, this is what I'm saying. That if there's a lot of this that gets reported all over the planet. There's places where shit just like resonates out of the ground. It's like vibrations in the earth. When stuff happens, it just reverberates through the planet. Like, you ever seen where they have those crazy noises coming out of the sky in different places?
No.
And the sky will be like, kang, bong, making these weird. And it has something to do with just because shit bounces around.
Off the sky?
Yeah, because it's sound, and there's places where it gets bunched up and concentrated and reflects back down.
It sounds like fucking, like...
But you think all the noise happening on the planet, and the same way, like, inside the earth, all the vibrations and shit, fucking little earthquakes going off and, like, all the shit.
I know this is serious, but when you say it with your normal voice, it just makes me think you should be talking like this. Like...
But you got, yeah, and it all bounces around inside the planet. You know, you got little earthquakes going here and there, and you got people walking, like all these vibrations, man. Every time you take a step, that transitions into the earth, and sure, it gets absorbed.
There's billions of us. Billions of us.
Billions of us, and us walking around. You know,
It's got to go somewhere.
yeah, we're like ants on a tennis ball, man. And it just reverberates around. And
Now it's getting a little Ted Nugent-y.
It is, yeah. You bounced around.
It's our God-given sound.
Got to eliminate some of that protein, some of that lean, mean protein. Get rid of the vibrations, the earth vibrations, bouncing around. They're going to tell me I can't hold my fucking guns. I'll bury them in the vibrating earth. Probably from my cold fucking dead hands.
They say that animals are being medicated for anxiety.
Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder if it's one of those things, but I don't know. Look on. This is a thing for. I bet Secret Transpod's maybe done something.
This is a big article.
It's a very long article.
They had a thing on HBO, Vice News, and HBO tried to figure it out too.
I thought that was The Rock.
No.
Yeah, if it's something to do with it, it's. I've seen it explained, and it makes sense. It's like vibrate shit, and it bounces around, like in patterns, and in certain places it bunches up and becomes audible, or you can feel it on the.
This is a video of the sound. You want to hear it?
Oh yeah. I mean, it sounds like a jet taking off. That would kind of drive you nuts.
I've been listening to it for a while. It gets very aggravating. I'm outside quite a bit because I'm a smoker and I listen to it constantly. In the house, my wife can hear it. I don't hear it as well, so I don't hear it well in the house, but there has been occasions.
Torment.
It's bad on the
Yeah, drive you crazy. Just noise. Constant noise, yeah.
The rumbles are so bad. And the cat gets really strange at night and sometimes during the day.
That cat does look like it's at its wit's end. Look at it.
We've been listening to it for quite some time, and we can't stop production. We can't stop manufacturing. The steel industry's up. The cars are selling like crazy, so they're making more steel.
That guy needs a good night's sleep, man. Holy cow, cat's fucking weird. Yeah, I mean, if
a cat steals up, it's way up. Oh, good lord.
He looks like he's been up for a week straight. This man is haggard looking. I just can't. I just need a sleep. My body's weak.
If any of you out there are making that fucking noise, cut it out.
It's a bunch of didgeridoos. A Zoob tube. Remember Zoob tube?
No.
It's a big long cardboard tube with two plastic cups on each end with a spring between them. And you'd shake it and they go.
This has been another episode of The Royal We. I want to thank Kishi Bash for letting us use his song Intro / Pathos off the album 151A. Yeah. I also want to thank Fez for letting us have that a bit of a bummer headline.
It was good. Led into a story.
Yeah, that's good. That's not as bummer as some of them. Some of them are just like terrible, like man murdered wife.
Yeah, that wasn't too big of a bummer. I was just a depressed guy who didn't get happy from it. That's not a bummer to me.
Yeah, you're right.
It's just some dummy trying to get some money.
That's most of our headlines. If you guys want to send us headlines, and you should, you guys go to that at RoyalWeCast on Twitter or royalwecast@gmail.com. Yeah, it's good. We're done.
Yeah, we're done.
It's fucking hot.
Rolling.
Good night.
Yeah. Ooh, gonna lay it down for you.
Lay it down quick. Goof grease.
There's a Japanese nose robot smelling you.
So stinky.
There's a sound coming from a town in Canada.
Detroit City.